Deliciously with Ara. Today we're gonna make dak-bokkeum-tang. To subscribe and like! So basically, dak-bokkeum-tang, also known as dak-doritang, is a very popular Korean chicken meal that we do for dinners. Para siyang chicken afritada here in the Philippines. We use potatoes, carrots, onions, and chicken. But instead of the tomato base, gumagamit tayo ng chili powder and soy sauce as our sauce base. Now, very important to get our chicken cleaned. I'm gonna show you the step-by-step on how to clean our chicken. So this freshly chopped chicken, I got it from the market. So it's running water. Hugasan natin na ng lahat ng maigi, like all the parts. And there are sometimes medyo natitirang mga parang like the feathers and then stuff na unwanted sa skin. We're gonna scrape it off, isa-isa. And all the blood clots. Dito kasi lumalabas lahat ng mga the malansang smell of the chicken. So we want it off. Get a strainer. And especially sa gantong part, like where the rib bones are, you'll see na medyo may mga nagka-clot na blood and all these inner intestines. Ipupush natin using your thumb. So all the unwanted fats ng chicken, tanggalin din natin kasi we don't want masyadong mantikain na meal. So all the unwanted fats, just pull it out with your fingers like this. And sa running water. And sa mga parts where you can see na may mga rib bones, there are these blood clots na ganito. Dito lumalabas lahat ng malansang smell and the very bitterness flavor ng chicken. So we want to push it with your thumb. Push mo lang ganyan. And then tanggalin natin in a running water. Also here, you'll see na marami tayong mga blood clots sa loob. With my thumbs, pinupush ko lang. Stay tuned! So now I have here my one whole chicken chopped and thoroughly cleaned. It's very important for us to clean our chicken well kasi medyo the chicken meat is very sensitive in absorbing all kinds of malansang smell. And when we cook our chicken dak-bokkeum-tang, we don't want to have the kind of malansang smell ng chicken or even cause some kind of tummy ache as well. First, we're gonna blanch our chicken kasi nahugasan ko na siya ng mabuti just to remove all sorts of the parang unclotted na blood, mga clotted blood na hindi natin nalinis kanina. I'm gonna blanch my chicken. So get a kawali like this and we're gonna fill this up with water. So just very generous amount of water habang nagbo-boil siya sa high fire kasi i-blanch ko yung ating manok. We're gonna prepare our vegetables. Of course, just to complement our chicken, I have here my two big potatoes. We're not gonna slice it na masyadong maliliit kasi we're gonna boil this together with the chicken and with the size of your chicken na medyo para siyang feast size. Medyo matagal siya mag-boil and kung masyadong maliliit ang ating mga potatoes, baka it will be parang too mushed. So I'm just gonna cut it siguro like this size of para magkasing size ng ating manok. And I have here 3 pieces of my white onions. Of course, depending on the size of your onions, if you can just get like siguro a medium size like this one is good. But I love the taste of onions kasi nagbibigay siya ng parang extra sweetness and of course the health benefits of it. So I have here 1 medium and 2 small white onions. Also, we're gonna just cut it siguro big sizes kasi ayaw natin siya masyadong magiging durog-durog ang ating onions later on when we boil it. And I have here 1 whole carrot. Of course, I love having the color of my carrots and my onions and my potatoes sa aking dak-bokkeum-tang. I'm cutting my carrots na medyo maliliit because I noticed na if you cut the carrots na kasing laki ng ating potatoes, parang naiiwan siya sa plate. And because I just want to give a little bit of a color touch of it, medyo mas maliit ang ating carrots. So I have here my ingredients ready, and then now we're gonna boil our chicken. Of course, you can just actually cook it as is if super fresh ang mga ating chicken. But just because I want to have a cleaner taste of my dak-doritang or my dak-bokkeum-tang, I'm gonna first boil the water. And pag super boiled na, I'm gonna now add in my chicken. So So I've been boiling it for 5 minutes, and as you can see, parang lumalabas yung parang fat, and there are some kind of parang white, and sometimes medyo nagkakaroon ng black and brown. Those are like parang blood clots ng ating manok. And of course, those are not very, very harmful. It's just that it wouldn't really give us the clean taste that we were really after. So kaya gusto ko lang parang siya i-blanch. Now, pag nag-boil ng once, I'm gonna turn this off. We're gonna have this a quick rinse and strainer it so we can cook our dak-bokkeum-tang. Must-try recipe! So I've already rinsed and drained my chicken na na-boil ko siya kanina. So now I'm gonna turn on my fire again. Some have actually told me baka daw nawawalan ng flavor ang aking chicken if I blanch it. But actually not, because I'm not really fully cooking my chicken on the hot water kanina. Parang biniblanch ko lang kasi gusto talaga siya malinis. So it's really not the flavor of the chicken that's gonna be affected, but it's just really the way of cleaning it. And as you can see, napakalinis na ng ating chicken. It gives a very parang malinis na flavor of the chicken that we can have on our dak-bokkeum-tang later. So now I'm gonna lay off all my chicken dito sa aking kaldero, kawali. And we're gonna add around 2 cups of water, or just generous amount of water na para ma-cover ang ating manok. So now I've added my chicken, my water. I'm gonna add in my onions and my potatoes because medyo matagal maluto ang ating potatoes, and gusto ko lang na maging once na-boil ang ating chicken, parang sabay na siyang mag-boil. And for the first flavorings for our dak-bokkeum-tang or dak-bokkeum-tang, we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of sugar. I always use my sugar first when I season my food kasi parang sinisip-sip ng chicken mamaya ang ating sugar sa water and also the potatoes. It helps para maging mas level up ang flavor niya mamaya when we add the soy sauce and also my chili powder. So I really want the sweetness of my sugar. Hindi siya it does not caramelize the food, but it boosts up all the flavorings. And actually, always seasoning your food first with sugar brings out the flavor the most. So I'm gonna just give it a quick boil until maluto ang ating potatoes. So now when we're gonna boil our chicken and my potatoes, it's better not to cover your pot because gusto ko medyo sumingaw lahat ng what kind of malansang smell that it may have. And as you've probably seen the difference of it, in Korean food, we don't really add any kinds of bay leaves, pampatanggal ng smell ng ating chicken. So this is another way of cleaning it, blanching it, and also cooking it with your lid open helps create this best dishes for chicken. So now, my potatoes, I can see na medyo nagsa-starch na, which means naluluto na yung ating potatoes. Now, we're gonna add in our seasonings. First, I have here my garlic. This is minced garlic. I'm gonna add a very generous amount of 1 tablespoon. Actually, this is more than 1. Siguro mga 2 tablespoon na. Of course, you can always adjust, but diba Korean food, we love garlic. And now we're gonna add in my toyo. I'm just gonna add actually 1/2 cup of my toyo. This is actually 4/5 cup, so I'm not gonna use all. So roughly around 6 tablespoons ng ating toyo, or 1/2 cup. Hindi siya soy-based, so I'm gonna add a very konting touch of my toyo, which is like 1/2 cup or 6 tablespoons because instead of using salt, I wanted to use the soy sauce kasi iba medyo distinctive ang level ng soy sauce na binibigay yung alat niya. That's what I'm gonna use as my base for my saltiness. And of course, I'm gonna use 1/2 cup or around 7 tablespoons of my chili powder. So now, when we add the chili powder, you would think na masyado masabaw ang ating chicken. Don't worry about it kasi sumisip-sip ng ating chili powder ang water. Now, if medyo nagiging masyado siyang dry, then you can always add more water while you cook. Or if you think that masyado masabaw, all you just have to do is cook and cook parang medyo magiging, parang evaporate ang ating soupness ng ating food. So try to melt your chili powder all throughout. And then now I'm gonna add in my carrots. And then further natin siya iluto hanggang maluto ang ating carrots as well as my chili powder na super nag-melt na sa ating chicken. So while my dak-bokkeum-tang is boiling, for the final touch, I'm gonna use my leeks. So cut off yung root part. I'm not gonna add my leeks now. I'm gonna add this only pag luto na because I just want to actually really preserve ang color ng ating leeks. So I'm just gonna cut this siguro mga 1 to 2 inches. So now, everything is cooked. Papatayin ko na yung ating fire. And then, I'm gonna add my leeks. So give it a quick toss before we serve. Stay tuned! So tada! Here is my dak-bokkeum-tang or dak-bokkeum-tang. Very easy to make, a touch of the Korean spice on our chicken meal. So I hope you enjoy cooking with me. See you next time. Bye! It's super masarap. Let's get a potato and my chicken. Words cannot describe how good it is. I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy cooking because it's so easy. Enjoy cooking. Don't forget to like and subscribe.